Hello everyone and welcome back to the 25 Cards of Christmas. And to all those who celebrate, happy first night of Hanukkah. I hope you have an amazing holiday. We still have plenty of gifts here though, so let's get right into it. Well, what do we have here? It's Akroma, Angel of Wrath. Now, I love Akroma, but like Omnath from yesterday, she's been through a couple of different forms in her day. Whether you face her wrath or fury, Akroma is an iconic card with a just as memorable story. Akroma, like all angels in Magic the Gathering, was not born, but made. Typically, angels are made through the concentration of pure white mana, pressured together to manifest into a physical form. Other types of magic can be used to make angels as well, but all result in a sentient being who symbolizes the aspects of white mana. Akroma's origin is slightly different, for she isn't technically an angel, but she is. Well, it's complicated. The easiest way to put it is Akroma is actually a sentient illusion, made to look like an angel. It's weird, okay? Like a majority of angels, Akroma was forged from the imagination of her creator, a man named Ixidor on the plane of Dominaria. After the invasion of the Phyrexian forces on Dominaria, the plane was devastated. One of the few places left relatively unharmed was a southern landmass known as Orteria. With this area free from the scars of war, thousands of Dominaria's denizens sought refuge on this continent. But where there's needy people, there will undoubtedly be those looking to prey on their desperation. In Orteria, resources and money were governed over by a black-lined criminal organization, the Cabal. This group literally worshipped money and would do anything they felt garnered a profit, even exploit their fellow refugees of Dominaria. One of the Cabal's more sinister and ruthless methods of making a buck were their fighting pits. Organized fights between combatants that usually ended in one or more of the fighters' deaths. It was in one of these fighting pits that Ixidor's story began. He, like many others who fled to Orteria, had basically nothing to his name. He saw those who entered the pits come out either rich or dead, both options not being so bad when compared to the squalor he lived in. Fortunately for Ixidor, he had an advantage over most. He was already a very skilled illusionist. Win after win, Ixidor became more famous and rich. The pits provided him more than just a comfortable living. He also found the love of his life, a fellow fighter named Nevia. But this bloody storybook life wasn't meant to last forever, for the pits are as treacherous as they are bountiful. Ixidor's love, Nevia, would die in the pits when she was set to fight the Cabal's champion, Phage. Without Nevia in his life, the illusionist just didn't have the will to carry on. He stopped fighting in the pits and picked up gambling instead. Soon, he built up a tremendous amount of debt, which he was of course unable to pay, forcing the Cabal to banish him to one of the harshest deserts in Orteria. Lost and in despair, Ixidor turned to the one thing he knew, his illusion magic. But, as a result of his great emotional distress, his spells manifested in a new and surprising way. Rather than making pure ethereal illusions, as was the case before, Ixidor's imaginations began taking on real-world physical properties. With this potent magic, the mage created a scene very similar to the Full Metal Alchemist. He sacrificed his right arm to force sentience into a being he molded to take the form of his lost love, Nevia. In Ixidor's mind, Nevia was always his angel, so that's the form this being took. The White Sentinel rose to the sky, forged of his dreams and built from his flesh. He dubbed her Akroma. Ixidor gave her one objective: avenge Nevia, whatever the cost. With that, Akroma flew off in search for the woman's killer, Phage. The angel found her in the fighting pits, going against a skillful fighter, her own brother. The two looked evenly matched. Akroma sat back to watch if Phage would die on her own in this battle. It soon became apparent that Phage's brother wouldn't kill her, so Akroma was forced to deal with it personally. Her wings lifted her to the center of the pit, shocking the audience and the combatants alike. Although the angel caught Phage by surprise, her brother wasn't about to let this angel kill her. He brutally slashed at Akroma's arms, wounding her and giving Phage the opportunity to grab her attacker's leg, corrupting it with her poisonous touch. In immense pain, Akroma flew off, barely escaping death. She flew back, battered and defeated, to Ixidor. In her mind, she had failed and deserved his wrath. But Ixidor held no hatred towards his creation. He used his magic, basically just imagining Akroma as fully healthy, and thus she was in real life. He even enhanced her by giving her the legs of a jaguar, turning her into a centaur cat angel. Kinda. Like I said, it's complicated. With this attack, Ixidor knew the Cabal would retaliate. A war was coming. He conjured up all manner of creatures and forces to fight back, and Akroma, well, she would lead them to victory. Just as the mage suspected, the Cabal came to seek revenge for the attack on Phage. Akroma's forces met with the enemy, meeting them blow for blow. The illusions even began to take control of the field. That is, until Phage herself entered the battle. Using her own form of dark magic, Phage summoned death worms to add to the Cabal's forces, each worm being hatched from the souls of those she had killed, including Ixidor's lost love, Navia. The worm forged from Navia's soul sought out Ixidor, swallowing the illusion mage whole as he was unable to combat the huge beast. Akroma watched helplessly in horror as the worm made off with her creator. Without a leader, the illusions fell to pieces and it was up to Akroma to continue on her master's message. She was campaigning hard against the Cabal, gathering as many followers as she could. A religion even formed around the lost illusionist, taking Akroma's angelic form as a sign of Ixidor's holy power. With this army, Akroma was set to fulfill her creator's only wish: kill Phage. She took her army to a place called Sanctum, where Phage was reportedly staying. When attacked, the guards outside the city actually welcomed the angel, directing her to the top of a large dome building. There would be no massive conflict, but only a single solitary battle. Phage was waiting for her. Little words were exchanged before these two women warriors engaged one another. The fight was intense. Each blow was a staggering force, and neither were backing down. As it intensified, Akroma noticed a figure encroaching the battle. It was Phage's brother, the same man who had wounded her during her first attack. He was wielding a giant scythe, looking to intervene on his sister's behalf once again. As she prepared for this threat, she noticed another figure jumping in at the last moment. It was a woman known as the Gorka, a human warrior and leader of the Cabal forces. This was quickly turning into a battle Akroma just couldn't win. Outnumbered, Phage's brother swung his ungodly long weapon towards Akroma, but by chance and ignorance, he misjudged the weapon's range. The scythe known as Soul Reaper arched and cut through all three women at once, killing them almost instantly. As Akroma lay dying, she witnessed her rival, Phage, die alongside her. As an explosion engulfed them all, Akroma faded to death, finally going in peace, knowing that Ixidor and Navia had been avenged at last. And that was the end of Akroma, Angel of Wrath. But what about her other popular form, the Angel of Fury? Well, this story is again complicated. During the Planar Chaos set, it observed these events in an alternate reality. In this world, Ixidor was aligned with black mana rather than blue, and he forged Akroma from red mana, not white. She was built for no purpose other than to bring down her fury upon the world, which she did with a smile on her face. This is the alternate version of Akroma, the darker side of the Angel of Fury. Oh, Akroma, Angel of Wrath, Angel of Fury, it doesn't matter. You're still going on my Christmas tree. Well, that's it for the 7th card of Christmas. I'd like to remind you all to join me tomorrow as we go over something that you probably wouldn't want to see in a Christmas video. It's a snake, but he's also a wizard, so it's kind of Christmassy. And anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, Simon here, just letting you know if you like the video, you can support future content by liking it and sharing it with your friends. You can also support this channel by visiting my sponsors over at abugames.com. abugames.com is a leading online store for all things MTG, and without them, this series wouldn't be possible. You may even consider following me on social media or becoming a patron on Patreon. Through those means, you can stay up to date with the channel along with gaining access to special events and giveaways. You can find those links in the description below. Regardless, I wish you all a happy and safe holiday season.